Hey, Fair West neighbors. April 3rd, that's today's date. All right, what's happening this week? So, at least from the neighborhood association's perspective, um, we've got a few more events. So, this Saturday at 11 a.m., we're going to meet up at Kaps again to talk just like we did last time, get to know each other. We had a interesting cross section of people from the neighborhood and even a few from outside the neighborhood, or at least one. Um, Good conversation about all sorts of topics related to whether it's safety or what's happening with the city or what are some interesting local events. Just enjoyable. Um, and also decently productive, I think. So that's 11 a.m. at Caps. I usually stick around for an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. That seems to be about as much steam as everybody has. Also on Sunday, April 7th at 1 p.m., Coffee with the Cops is coming to Fox Park. I'm going to bring some coffee if anybody wants to offer to bring some baked goods or something. That'd be great. Let me know. And then the following day, Monday, the 8th, again at 1 p.m., a group that operates in our neighborhood called the New Mexico Harm Reduction Collaborative is going to come do some education in the park. There's a lot that we can say about that. I have a flyer that I'll be linking to, so check out the description to learn more. I think it'll be really interesting, and I'm looking forward to going. I wanted to mention as well, this past weekend, there was an event put on called Civic Saturday, and a handful of neighbors went, and Pilar, one of the Fair West residents, she organized it. I didn't get to make it, unfortunately, but it sounded really pretty compelling, and so maybe she'll do another one, but I'll link to a Facebook post that Kathy, the vice president of the neighborhood association, made about that, if you want to get a better idea of what it was and if you want to attend maybe the next one or get in contact with Pilar. And what else? We have an annual meeting for the neighborhood association. I am still finalizing the very last bit of the venue details, but it looks like it'll be on April 24th, a Wednesday, 6 to 8 p.m. And I'll make another video post with all of the relevant details, but that's coming up in about 3 weeks. Hopefully, lots of people will be interested in going, and if you have any questions or want to be more involved in it, feel free to reach out to me. That's all the updates. Took a little longer this time for the weekly updates, and I'm going to try a little bit of an addendum here. So if you don't want to know about just sort of what's happening and you don't have much time, feel free to just stop this because I'm going to start rambling a bit. Really, I think something that has come up in the past couple of weeks is talking to people about the neighborhood association, just neighbors who I've met in the park or out and about, sort of trying to encourage why it might have some importance. For a long time, I never interacted with the association, but it's been a pretty good way to meet neighbors. I've met so many neighbors. Doesn't matter if, being the president, that's a good way to have to meet or talk to a bunch of people if you're trying to be effective. But even just by participating, there's a lot of interaction, and I think it's a good energy. So that's one reason I often tell people, if you want to get more involved, it's pretty low commitment. We're going to have probably some board positions available. What does that even mean? Come to the meeting and I will tell you. It doesn't have to be that much. It's kind of like whatever you're willing to put into it. And I, am happy to talk about that in more detail. And then I've learned a lot about the neighborhood, both in terms of like architecture, history of the place, just a lot of people who have seen it change over time. And that's it's just one, on one side, it's interesting, but I think on a broader sense, it's useful to try and think about, okay, this is what we used to look like a little bit in the past. Things are a bit different now, and it helps me come up with an idea, and I enjoy talking about what do we want to shape the future like, and what's our ability to do that. And a lot of neighbors seem to like to talk about that. It's one of the things it's a common thread, for example, at Kaps on the weekend. So if that has any amount of interest to you, come along and talk more. All right, 5 minutes, that's enough. Goodbye.